What's going on, my fellow rock and rollers? Don't forget to hit the bell notification icon to be notified every time I put out a new video on my channel. Initially active from 1978 to 1986, the supercharged punk quartet known as Dead Kennedys blended together styles of surf rock, rockabilly, and garage rock. Frontman Jello Biafra's far left-leaning politically charged lyrics provided a blistering attack on social issues at the time. In the fall of 1979, Biafra ran for mayor of San Francisco after the band's drummer told him, "Biafra, you have such a big mouth that maybe you should run for mayor." Deciding to put his money where his mouth was, he threw his hat in the ring. In San Francisco, any individual can legally run for mayor if a petition was signed by 1,500 people or if $1,500 was paid. Biafra paid $900 and got signatures over a period of time and eventually met the requirements to become a candidate. And due to the election laws in San Francisco at the time, this meant that Biafra would have statements put in voter pamphlets and receive equal airtime from news stations. Biafra would repurpose the famous Jello tagline, "There's always room for Jello," for his political campaign. While today San Francisco seems like a haven for the wealthy, especially those in the tech industry, back in the 70s, it seemed like a war zone. Drugs, murder, racial tensions, and corruption. The mayor of San Francisco, George Moscone, was assassinated in 1978, as was city supervisor Harvey Milk. And following Moscone's murder, Dianne Feinstein, who had previously served as the president of the Board of Supervisors, would become the new mayor and serve out the rest of Moscone's term. What was strange about Biafra's political campaign was that he had no platform when he entered the race. He would end up writing his campaign platform on a napkin while he attended a Peeraboo concert. And the two main candidates for mayor at the time were Dianne Feinstein and Quentin Kopp. Feinstein was a Democrat and currently serves as a senator in Washington, D.C. for California, while Quentin Kopp was originally a Republican who became an independent. So where did Biafra fit in? Well, he would tell Louder Sound, and I quote, "She," referring to Feinstein, "ran the city with an iron fist, and the police were completely out of control," which she seemed to get off on. "I have never been very fond of her, and any grief I can cause that creature I'm happy to oblige. But that wasn't why I ran for mayor. It was more like, wouldn't this be a great prank," he'd say. And what was his platform, you're probably asking? Well, according to the San Francisco Weekly newspaper, his platform included businessmen had to wear clown suits within city limits, holding elections in which police could be voted into office by the neighborhoods they patrolled, appointing a board of bribery that would set fair bribery prices, tearing down Pier 39, legalizing squatting in vacant tax-delinquent buildings, paying the unemployed to panhandle in wealthy neighborhoods including Feinstein's, banning cars citywide, erecting a statue of Dan White, who assassinated Mayor George Moscone and Supervisor Harvey Milk the previous year, and having the Parks Department sell eggs, stones, and tomatoes with which to pelt it with. These weren't just crazy proposals Biafra thought off the top of his head. He would tell Louder Sound how making businessmen wear clown suits was in response to Feinstein saying she was going to clean up certain parts of the city, which he interpreted as meaning she was going to throw all the homeless people out of vacant buildings which they were squatting at. Throughout the campaign, Biafra did several notable things.
He held a news conference at City Hall. He then went on to do what he calls shaking babies and kissing hands.
He wore campaign t-shirts from opponent Quentin Kopp's previous campaign and mocked his opponent Dianne Feinstein, who during the same campaign swept the streets of downtown San Francisco for a few hours. In turn, Biafra vacuumed leaves off the front lawn of Dianne Feinstein's home. So you're maybe wondering, how did he do in the campaign? Well, he would finish third out of a field of 10, receiving about 3.79% of the vote, or about 6,600 votes. The election would end in a runoff that did not involve him, as Feinstein was declared the winner and would serve as mayor for the next decade. In the years that followed, Biafra ran for president as a Green Party candidate in the year 2000, but lost to Ralph Nader. Meanwhile, Dianne Feinstein, as I said before, serves as a senator for the state of California in Washington, D.C., and is on the Senate Judiciary Committee, while Kopp would become a judge before retiring. So that does it for today's video, guys. Thanks for watching. Be sure to hit the like button and subscribe. If you guys have suggestions for future topics, let me know in the comment section below. Take care.